Fiend.
Yeah?
I need to work on my super move. Get it? Because that's how the episode opens. The last few episodes, actually, it's been kind of a running bit, and then I did it. Do you get it? Do you get it? Be proud of me.
Yeah. And now, and now I need to think of some sort of inappropriate super move that I know.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, I got nothing.
Yeah,
it's
Cube.
anime slashy.
I'm Cube.
And I'm Finn, and we're talking about DG&D episodes 9 and 10. Sorry, this one got a little bit delayed. It just really wasn't possible to record last weekend.
Fiend was sick, and then I was sick, and then the world was sick. So we're just doing those other two. Another one has come out, but we're going to wait till the next one comes out so we can continue to do it in groups of 2.
Yeah. So there should be another one out soon, quickly. But either way, the things with her looking for a super move are all from the start of Volume 4. Like, that was the first thing that happens.
I see.
Some of the volumes will open with these little profiles of the character where it's like, blood type and favorite food and that sort of stuff. And in between all of those, it has Shamiko going over to meet them all and asking them for a super move.
I see.
They kind of just broke it up and are using it, just peppering them throughout the episode.
That's pretty cute.
Yeah. There's stuff in these episodes. It's one of the first times I've been a little disappointed with the anime.
Oh, shit.
Just a little. Just a tiny bit. Just for a couple of choices and the ways a couple of things were animated, I guess.
Ooh. Well, I'll have to learn about how they were better in the manga.
Nothing super major or anything. I will say, episode 9, there is a lot of corner cutting in this episode.
Yeah?
They use every single henshin they have, and usually not in places where it's appropriate.
It's always appropriate to have a henshin. How dare you? But yeah, it does feel weird in this show for them to actually use all the full anime transformations in an episode.
Yeah, especially when it's not like something like Sailor Moon where there's like a pattern to the episodes where the henshin's we're about to get into the fighting bit. It's like particularly Mikan's henshin in this episode. It's like this wasn't the right. This just feels completely tonally off.
Yeah, it feels a little more blatantly time filly. But hey, it's this first one is the one you love and spoiled.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. I'm pretty sure I asked you before I told you what happened.
Maybe, but yeah, I know you thought that it wasn't going to be in the season, but it was, and it's good.
Yeah, it is. Aside from one thing they added to this is like, I always loved this story just because it's such a sappy little story. The episode opens with the voiceover, or Yuko's dad, telling us that Momo was feeling a bit weird when she woke up.
Boop, boop, beep.
Metako's like growling at her, which is weird.
Oh yeah.
A glass shatters in her hand, and then she suddenly, henshin.
Oh yeah, by the way,
dark side henshin.
I don't think we talked too much about it at the time, but as earlier on in the season, they talked about how the Light Clan helper guys are like members of the Light Clan that were sealed in animals or like sealed themselves in animals. So Metako was like just a person guy.
I don't recall that. I thought they were just the representatives.
I thought it said that. I'm gonna have to go find that line again. Because if that's the case, that's pretty crazy. It's pretty wild, though.
Everyone's just being sealed and shit. That's why it's important for Yuko to be able to go into the psychic aura of a plant.
That's true.
Because there might be someone sealed.
You never
in
know.
Yeah.
It's all going to come back around. But yeah, Momo, she breaks a cup because she can't control her power. She's got too much darkened energies. What happened?
Yeah, she's fallen to the dark side and she can't turn back. Yuko runs in because she heard the henshin happening and saw flashing lights.
Yeah, and I like that she's just like, why? But with a little nya face, like, this is cool, but why?
There's also, we're getting more into Yuko's obsession with Momo's tummy.
Yeah, she wanted to touch that tummy.
She just really likes exposed midriffs. That's kind of her thing.
she's getting a bit hornier. Yeah, horny for Momo. But Momo says it's actually very serious because if she can't control her own power, then she might turn into a core. Ah!
She's burning all her energy up real quick.
And Shamiko's feeling very guilty because she's worried that Momo, because she's like this with the demon half because she did it to save Shamiko. And she's like, oh, maybe this is all my fault. And Momo's like, I don't regret anything. But I didn't do it to save you from the few days of discomfort.
Yeah, she's thinking about her boss saying that the way that Momo did all of that was quite harsh to her body, so that's probably why everything's out of whack at the minute.
Yeah.
And Momo, so Yuko's just like, I don't want you to have to do that again. And Momo actually gives her a nice smile. It's just she's just sort of like, it's okay, Yeah. I don't have any regrets. I do like the way that the boss always calls Momo Lady Momo as well. It's cute.
Yeah. And then we get the unfortunate part of this episode where there are these strings that almost look like thong strings or something coming out of Momo's skirt, but they don't make any sense the way that they're held up by nothing.
Yeah, we're officially at the horniest DG&D has ever gotten. And what bugs me about this is that this was like a one-page joke at the very end of the volume. This did not come at this point in the story.
I guess when else would they have put it in if they insisted on putting it in?
Yeah. But it's a shame because it kind of spoils a gag in the Fort Coma where Momo's like, saying, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. And then that's when she goes to Mikan's door and says, we shouldn't panic as she kicks the door down.
Yeah.
Whereas, this gag of just...
Oh, wait, so what happens is that Shamiko wonders what would happen if you pulled the string and it goes through like, would her skirt fall down? Would her skirt and her underwear fall down? Would nothing happen? And then Momo throws her.
Yeah, because Yuko tries to pull the strings.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Too much.
Talking about like her panties falling down and stuff, and it's just like, she's all blushy and red-faced, and it's just sort of,
No. Mere equal opportunity, not okay. Sexual harassment.
And like I say, it feels weird coming in here right after this little moment of Yuko sort of feeling bad for all the lengths that Momo's gone to for her.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was an annoying place to drop this gag.
But anyway, yeah, so they break down Mikan's door. Oops. And Mikan's all sleepy and just like, what?
And yeah, and they're shaking around saying, hey, I've fallen to the dark side. You have to shoot me in the face. It's just like, this is an awful way to wake up.
Yeah. And she tries it and it doesn't work. And she's like,
And just like trying to kick Momo in the face, and Momo's just apologizing. Now this is the point where Mikan's henshin makes no sense here.
It's so cute though.
Oh, it's very cute.
The way she do the little foot tappa is so good and Precure, and it looks so cute. I like it.
It is really good.
No, yeah, it's very Precure logic to show it here.
Yeah,
which the show doesn't generally run on.
Yeah, and like in general, they're filling a lot of time in this ep.
Yeah,
they call Liko, and Liko can't help because their medicine takes a little while to go. I like the little gag, which is like, hey, I know you didn't need the medicine the other day, but like that's fine because it takes so long to work that you would have been dead either way. So it's all good. You can go. You can die in peace.
I like that a lot of times now, or sometimes when she's feeling particularly mischievous, she makes a little fox hand symbol.
Yeah.
With she's going, fox hand. So they need to go to the one person who can maybe know how to fix this.
Ogura.
We gotta get Ogura on this, the weird occult girl.
Yeah, and there's a nice gag because they go to call her, but Momo shattered her phone in the morning when an alarm went off, and then just realized. But it's okay because Ogura's been spying on them this whole time.
Yeah. My next note just says Ogura's lurking.
She's wandering around their house every other day. She put a microphone in little statue.
Yeah. I roll my eyes.
While they're panicking, there is a shot I liked of just, you cut to the statue and her eyes are just flashing red. I was like, what?
Beep. Oh. And I do like that Shamiko was like, I want to be mad, but I'm also grateful.
Yeah. Also, just real quick, just before Ogura shows up, Momo is fading away. So imagine that, a pink magical girl who's turning transparent. Imagine that.
I don't know what you're talking. Are you talking about the fucking sleepless domains? There's nothing that Momo and HP have in common.
No, nothing at all.
Leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Anyways, what it turns out is that she's got to spill the beans on why she's feeling so bad and went to the dark side. Because
this is the thing. Have you ever heard of the concept in a magical girl show of maybe you experience too many negative emotions and that makes you sort of fall to the dark side?
Look at this girl over here. She wants to connect everything to every other piece of media. What are you, TV tropes? TV tropes, John, over here?
I'm just saying it's fun. I mean, I know this is not unique to Metako, but it does amuse me because it's like it's one of those things the show does that I like, which is like these are all just magical girl tropes. But there is something also funny about like no, what we're discussing is actually that Momo's not taking care of her mental health properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, like some things have annoyed her and she's not talking about them. What Ogura explains is that ever since the last incident where she went to the dark side, Momo's now going to be prone to falling to the dark side anytime her emotions are out of whack because she's kind of teetering on the edge. Yeah. So Ogura says, you need to tell us what's upsetting you. And Momo's immediate reaction is, I'd rather die. I just want to die.
I'll just die. But yeah, what's upsetting her is that she never got to eat the delicious bento that Shamiko made just for her. It's the worst, and she's so upset about it that she just transformed to the dark side.
What I like is that everyone's like yelling at her, you gotta tell us, and Mikan saying, if you can't just die, if you disappear, I'm gonna be really sad. Because the Lilith is like gloating. Like just In the show, she says, come on, everyone's got to get embarrassed at some point in their life. In the manga, what she says is, this is for the sake of your embarrassing life. Which...
That might just be a weird translation.
I mean, it might be, yeah. But what I really like is, so you have that shot of Momo, like, just sort of sitting on the couch the previous night, grumpy, sort of hugging Metako. He's just sitting there, looking the same.
Yeah.
And then when it cuts back to her, just Lilith's just like, that's all it was? And Momo's like, I'm just a very sad, embarrassing person. And Lilith's like, this is actually pretty cute.
It's very moe. Pretty moe.
I just like that Lilith is sort of thrown by like, oh my God, that's kind of cute. Yeah.
Yeah, because if anyone's actually like casual rival with Momo, it's more Lilith.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like working against each other, but not really.
Yeah. And I mean, also, like, casual rivals, but also, Momo makes these dolls for her, and Lilith can't actually do anything to her. And,
oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, there's no actual rival here.
So, obviously, the only thing that can solve this problem is she has to eat one of Shamiko's bentos, but there's no time.
Yeah, there's no time. There's no time. What are they going to do? And, yeah.
Flashback. She made the dead leaves color bento, and they made sure to show it going in the fridge. Mm-hmm. It was a Chekhov's bento.
Everyone keeps telling Yuko that this bento is nice. Like, it looks nice. And she's just still worried that it looks like dead leaves. And when she gives it to Momo, Momo's like, this looks really nice. It reminds me of you somehow. And Yuko's like, shut up!
It's a beautiful bento, and I want it. Give me Yuko.
She goes to try and eat it, but she shatters the chopsticks. So what happens?
Oh, well, I guess there's no choice but for Yuko to feed her girlfriends. And she just immediately, poof, she's back to normal. It's fine.
Yeah. It was very cute. I did like as well, a little addition in the anime is after she gives her like the roll up omelet. What do you call that?
Tamagoyaki?
Yeah. And she just feeds it to her, and it's just in the background. There's this little bubble of Yuko saying omelet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, like she's naming it.
Yeah.
This show just wants to teach you about the existence of very well-known foods. It's very excited about it.
Yeah.
Egg.
And I like how the ending of the episode is Ogura saying, so yeah, because this could still happen again. So from now on, you're going to have to really deal with your feelings and talk about things that upset you and let everyone know. And Momo's like, oh my God. She just so badly does not want to talk.
Yeah, when she says it might keep happening, Shamiko's kind of like, nyah. Like, oh no, she's going to keep on to my dark side.
Just really quick, so Ogura has an iPad that she's wandering around with all the time. It says Kirara on the back. Does that mean anything? What does that mean? I
mean, it's like shiny. I don't know if it's like supposed to sound like a actual brand or something.
Okay. Oh wait, is that the manga collection it runs in?
Oh, that's right, Manga Time Kirara.
Yeah. You know what's fucked about that? That manga has its own gacha, where like you can collect all the characters from the different manga it runs.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. Because I keep seeing cute little animations of like Shamiko and Momo in a gacha. I'm like, I want to play that, but obviously...
Yeah, they're all like fantasy style versions of them, and it's cute.
Yeah, but obviously, if Banji Rekko couldn't survive in English, that thing's never going to make it.
No. And obviously we don't know most of the other things that it would be running with. Like, I think maybe Hidamari's sketch is in there or something, but otherwise, I don't know.
Yeah. I've just always loved that little episode of the manga because it's just there's that element of, Momo just having to sort of like just being bad at dealing with the feelings and now she's going to be forced to do it. But also just the sort of, it's just extremely cute. Yeah. She was just really upset she didn't get to eat the bento. God
damn it. Here's someone posted these fantasy designs. I'll have to show them in the video because they're cute. Like Momo's little knight and Shamiko has like what I wish her magical girl outfit looked like where it's like a little less skimpy and stuff and it's cute and all magical.
Yeah.
I'm not sure quite what's going on with Mikan's design.
Yeah, it's like vaguely steampunk.
Yeah, is she like an alchemist? I'm not.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apparently spoiled that episode for you, but it was good, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, the second half is sort of. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't call this horny, or it's not. It's not as bad as the panty joke, but it's still sort of like Yuko does like Momo. She finds her attractive.
She does. Oh yeah, because there's a few moments in this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
She gets a little horny for the Momo.
The next story involves Momo just sort of feeling very out of it because she wasted all that magic yesterday while she was turned. I always like whenever they show Momo slacking. Just sitting off her couch, just at like a coffee table with her head just like leaning on it, scrolling at her phone. There's like a bag of chips that's been pulled open and she's just slowly eating chips.
Very mood.
Yeah, and she's just like, yeah, I just gotta chill for a while.
But so yeah, the main thrust of this one is Ogura is gonna help them figure out that they need to go to a special spring.
How does Ogura introduce herself this time?
So Ogura fucking just pops out of the ceiling, and at that point, like, it's so over the top that it starts to bother me less. And they're just like, why were you in the ceiling? And she's like, because there was a ceiling for me to be in.
It goes back to Yuko going, how philosophical.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, fucking whatever. This is nonsense.
Yeah. And like I say, Ogura does become more important, really becomes a big part of the story from this point onwards. And like the foundation of that to begin with is we find out that Ogura knows about this magical spring that can rejuvenate a magical girl's body, ether body. She knows about this because Momo just gave Ogura all of Sakura's old notes.
Yeah, that's a lot of trust she put in her.
Yeah. Ogura is going to be our little font of information from now on.
Yeah.
They're just going to head out to this spring. It's up in the mountains. There's just an incidental, really cute Mikan outfit. Just why not? Why not? Here's Mikan. She's in a cute outfit.
Yeah, she's just like, I can't come, sorry. And it's like, oh, I see you, Mikan.
Yeah, she's going to do a transfer interview to the school. And there is also this cute thing of her saying, I have to get in because if I don't, I'll end up being one of those people who just hangs out in a park all day. It cuts to this version of Mikan with like, a bucket hat and tracksuit just sitting in the park with a sort of like a head empty expression.
Yeah.
She looks happy.
Yeah, I support you, neat Mikan. I had forgotten that she wasn't going to their school yet, because I felt like I'd seen them, like, hanging out outside the school, her and Shamiko.
Last season, that's kind of where they met. She did pop around to the school at some point. I think that might have been just to apply.
I see.
Or something.
Yeah.
Or it was just a location they already had backgrounds for.
It's very possible.
Been around the school before, but now she's actually going to be the hot new transfer student, which every magical girl show needs.
Oh.
Although, like, she is the opposite of the dark.
How much control does she have over time?
We can skip forward to this because it's just an incidental thing. But in the next episode, it starts with Yuko still doing homework, and turns to Mikan, who's just sort of slacking off and saying, "Oh, don't you have any homework?" And she's like, "Well, the homework from my old school doesn't transfer over, so I can just do whatever I want all summer." And for the first time, Mikan does a proper Ojo laugh, and it was very good.
Yeah. But then she finds out that she actually has to do it after all because they, like, give her some to do.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit. I'd be like, never mind, I'm transferring to a different school. It's evil. But yeah, so they take the bus to go on a little hiking trip in their little hiking clothes.
Yeah. Cute hiking clothes. Yuko's got her hair in a ponytail.
Gets to the special spring.
They get to the trail, but it's blocked off by a fence because Sakura put traps in there because, like, in her words on the sign, it was fun.
Yeah, I was like, if you're coming here, you're probably a family member or something, so you'll be fine.
And Momo's like saying, look, you don't need to worry. If I know my sister, these traps will just be like, will just comically beat us up. So it's fine.
I do like that one of the first ones is a pitfall trap that falls into, like, those cubes of foam. And I was like, oh, it's been a million years since I went into one of those giant pools full of cubes of foam.
See, that just reminded me of like a kid's game show or something where, like, the kid, you have to dive in there and search for a key that makes you win a Game Boy or something.
Hidden temple. But you've never gotten to actually do that?
No, not really. We didn't have those big sort of places here.
You've never been to pool foam jamboree? I have no idea where I actually got to do it. I just know I've done it somewhere.
We had the pits with the balls. But they were disgusting. There was always something bad in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's not the same. Foam is more fun. I think it was at a gymnastics place. So they could be like, you're learning gymnastics, which is hilarious that my mom ever thought I could do gymnastics with how tall and ridiculous I turned out.
Aww.
But then, it's like, here's the bonus. It's you can just fuck around in the foam pit. You wanna.
I think I did gymnastics at some point. I wasn't very good at it. At some point, I mastered the forward roll, and that was about it.
Yeah, I'm way too... I've got anxiety problems. You think I'm ever going to try to do a flip?
Yeah, that was
my neck breaks?
That was that was my thing too.
My neck could break at any moment.
I was just afraid. I was just afraid to do these things because I shouldn't.
How does anyone ever do a flip and not be like, oh, my neck could break at any moment?
Yeah, or just like, this is wrong. I shouldn't be upside down. That's not how this works.
It's fucked up. Anyways, Momo...
No, fuck it. Let's talk about our trauma for a while. Anyway.
Let's talk about trash cans and getting stuck in them.
That was my own fault, to be fair.
So Momo, and then she gets caught in one of those like traps that like comes down and what would you call that?
It's like a net trap. So like the whole thing is that Momo's saying, look, I'm kind of weak, Shamiko, so you're going to have to like walk ahead of me and face all these traps and any monsters we come across. And obviously Yuko's like kind of, but the traps keep hitting Momo. Like Momo falls in the ball pit. Momo gets yanked up in a net, and I like they kept this in from the manga is that when she gets pulled up in the net, she sort of goes, "Nya," And Yuko just goes, "You just said, yeah, that was really cute."
And she just is so grumpy up in there. It's like, maybe we'll just go home. I'm singing this. I'm tired. I'm going to go see B.
But then a monster turns up. And I did like I already pointed this out to Cube and she wasn't convinced. But there is just one shot where it's just like the monster's completely blank face and two tiny little like round circle eyes. And I felt like, I don't know, that feels like, that does feel kind of like a Cube reference.
I'm shaking my head.
It feels pretty iconic. I don't know.
TV Tropes McGee over here. Get over on wild speculation subforum.
There's a little like familiars here. There's just a big sort of flat purple thing with tiny arms.
It's pretty cute.
It just walks around going, go chomp, like it's walking.
Yeah.
So another henshin. We have the fucking. What I like though is I think they realized the mistake from last time, which was her original henshin that they're reusing had her in her school uniform. So this time to get around that, they just cut to the section where you can't see the school uniform, but to make up the time so the song doesn't have to be interrupted, there's just like a few seconds of just random stuff flying across an empty screen.
Oh, I didn't think about that or notice that.
Yeah, there's just like you see one of those little octopus sausages and a pen.
That's funny because they haven't bothered to do that for Momo. We just always see Momo transforming from the initial clothes that she's definitely not wearing.
Well, to be fair, in the one we see in this episode is the Dark Side Henshin, so it's not that one doesn't have a starting outfit.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, it's more because I think that
they learned their lesson.
It really does feel like the first two ones they did, like the ones with Yuko and Momo, they didn't intend for them to be reused. I feel like because they were accustomed to those scenes because of what they're wearing. But yeah, obviously now
the realities of production.
Yeah.
Look, I don't mind.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Oh yeah, but this episode does, once she transforms, Yuko has like bigger gag boobs even than she usually does when she transforms.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer.
Yeah, I hate the
Her boobie's so biggy.
I just hate the outfit and the way stupid boobs and stuff. It's just dumb. It's dumb. It's always dumb.
Yeah, there's like one shot where she's like holding something and like her big floppy boobs are like flopping outside of her arms and it's just like, come on guys. Come on guys. Come on, guy.
Yuko's not good at fighting. She's just running away from the thing, even though Momo is up in the net saying, "No, seriously, it's really weak. Like this is very easy to defeat." We get another one of these little hints of the fact that Shamiko is actually quite powerful, because she uses projection magic. Did you notice that? She has the same magic as Shiro from Faye.
I'm leaving. I'm fucking leaving. Why would you think of Shiro in this moment, Fiend?
Because what does she do? She replicates another weapon. That's the thing he does.
Did she fix an air conditioner with her power? There's a Fate deep cut for fans of the visual novel. It's fucking Fate. Fiend's talking about Fate. Fate sustain.
My point is that what she does is she just in a panic she replicates Mikan's crossbow, and Momo points out that like it's kind of a crappy looking knockoff in how it looks.
Yeah, it's like a kid trying to draw a crossbow from memory, which is great.
Yeah, but it's more than powerful enough to just like beat this thing down because Momo was saying like you have to hit the weak point for massive damage. Yuko doesn't do that. She just shoots at it until it dies, basically.
Haha, too badass.
But she's very happy, and she takes the little weak charm that was its weak point. And I do like how she's just super excited that she beat something, and he cuts to Momo, and she's just smiling.
She does get the weak point as an item to take from it, so it's like a little Magatama thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh, I guess this is what Sakura is. I guess I'll take it with me. And also some dirt from the first place where I beat a monster, which is like a baseball thing.
They get to the spring, and it turns out it's a waterfall. It's, again, with just Yuko being like, do you have like a bathing suit or like a loincloth or one of those, like there's like a certain sort of kimono that you sit under a waterfall with or whatever?
As one does.
Yeah. And Momo's like, no, I'm just going in like this. And she does. And Momo's just standing under the waterfall, and Yuko's just sitting there looking at her, and her tail is just going doink, 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 doink. Yeah. You're just watching that for a while, but then you start hearing the tail going, wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, and the tail is like poking the little like individual wow wows that are on screen. Like, wow, 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 wow.
And this didn't feel as sort of gross as the panty thing to me, I guess.
No, yeah, same.
It's still like it's still Yuko being a little horny, but like I don't know.
Yeah, at least it's not her like doing something weird or whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're basically girlfriends.
Yeah, yeah. Momo doesn't think it's working, and Yuko starts laughing at her, and then she just whacks her with water, and there's a line about, as we grow closer, you keep getting more annoying. Which
cold.
I mean, I guess it's kind of that thing of like, you feel more comfortable taking liberties around me.
Yeah.
You're irritating.
But, she feels better now, actually. Oop.
Yeah, it works. Real quick, they go back to Ogura. They brought her back a bunch of the water because she asked them to. But then Ogura sees the Nagatama. What is it called again?
Yeah.
Nagatama around, because she put it on a little like string around her neck. And Ogura thinks it's for her because apparently this gem is like really good for alchemy. So she just nicks it and immediately starts like grinding it up to make some really amazing elixir or something. And there's just this really long shot of Yuko with tears, just going, that was my treasure.
Oh yeah, a lot of the comedic timing in this scene was very strange to me, because like the way that it leads into the flashback and stuff, I felt like it didn't like quite read right.
To me, this felt like the whole episode has been filled with, cutting corners and ways to fill time. This kind of felt like the same thing to me, because the pull-out is very long and it just holds on this shot and then her arm drops down really slowly. And I can kind of see what they were going for, but yeah, I agree. It did it felt a bit odd.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's like I understood the joke that they were going for.
Yeah.
But there's something about the framing and timing and like musical cues weren't quite right to me.
Yeah, and they have a little montage of everything that happened that day, and it cuts back to Momo saying, well, you'll have memories you'll treasure forever. And don't give me that sappy crap. The funny thing is that joke was in the manga, where she just says, you'll always have the memories. So I guess they wanted to play it out, for real. But again, it just, because there's been so much corner cutting in this episode, it feels like this was the same thing. Like that's why they did the joke in this slightly odd way.
Yeah, well, that's the end of that episode, and then we go on to the next one.
Remember what I was saying about how these episodes do feel like they're filling time a little bit in terms of the way...
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. This episode is about bugs and having to get them out of your apartment. What could be more important? Nothing's more important.
It's cute. It's very cute because Mikan's not used to living in a place that has bugs. Momo's not super keen on them either, whereas Yuko's like, she's always lived in pretty crappy places where the bugs get in, so she's like, they're fine.
Yeah. She's used to like even cockroaches. She takes them and puts them outside, which is very pure of her.
I don't know if this was just the translation I was looking at, but at one point, Mikan in the translation describes them as those little black buggers, which I thought was an odd choice for her.
I can believe it. Well, maybe that's the equivalent they did of, how she tries to call them like a cutesy pet name.
Ah, right, okay.
I forget what the official subs called them. She like gives them a nickname to try to not say the word cockroach because it freaks her out so much.
Yeah. I mean, I do think the thing with this episode is like we do get a little bit of like setting things up for later in terms of like they talk about magic seals and it's also like a gentle reminder of that Mikan's curse is still a thing. Like they do a tiny bit of world building, and there's a couple of interesting moments.
Yeah, there's always a little in there.
Yeah, but otherwise, the majority of the episode isn't. We're not moving the plot forward at all.
Oh, that's right. The official subs call them grochies.
Grochies.
You have to get the grochi. It's pretty good.
Yeah. So one moment I really liked was like at one point they're clearing out all the trash because Mikan's had a bit of trash building up in her apartment because she didn't know when was bin night basically, or where you're supposed to sort that stuff.
Oh yeah, that can get really complicated. I was like, mood girl.
Oh yeah, that was the thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, because you have like all these different like burnable trash, non-burnable trash, metals, batteries, plastic, like pet plastic, and then I think maybe other plastics, or I forget if that went with non-burnable trash.
Oh, damn.
But like they didn't pick up all different types every week. They only picked up certain types on certain weeks. So you needed to put it out on the right day, on the right week of each month to make sure that it actually got picked up properly, or you get in trouble.
So organized.
No, yeah, like once you get used to it, it's just like, God damn it, I wish we could convince people over here to do that kind of shit.
Well, yeah, because like here they build plants that like are built to separate those bits of rubbish out because the people went to it.
yeah, it's like I know why like the government here doesn't try, because of course a lot of people here wouldn't fucking.
Yeah, they wouldn't fucking bother. They whinge about having two bins.
But yeah, it's rough when you move to a new area and you figure all that stuff out.
So Yuko's helping her sort out her trash, and they're just sort of talking away, and like she's expressing that she feels bad that they've asked Mikan to do all this really weird stuff since she arrived, and Mikan's like, no, look, it's fine. It's not like me and Momo are strangers. We go way back. And it gets into just another one of those little sort of thoughtful relationship moments that I liked, which was Yuko sort of reflecting on the fact that she's only known Momo for a few months, whereas, Mikan's got all this back history with her and, all these stories they have together, and just feeling a certain amount of envy for that. And it's like, that's a very real feeling.
Yeah. She's jealous.
It's just cute. Like I like the way that there's just these little thoughtful moments like this in this show a lot. It's really cute.
Oh, speaking of little moments like that, I thought it was cute how she didn't want to kill the cockroach because it was like, it's just trying to live its life, but it's seen as a pet, and everyone always kills it like us demons.
Yeah, she relates to the cockroach.
Like, oh, baby. Oh, also another very important scene when she's sorting all of Mikan's trash. There's a lot of cans of Mikan, the tangerines, and so she's sorting them out. She's like, Mikan kan, Mikan kan, Mikan kan, Mikan, Mikan kan, Mikan kan. It is just cute.
It is, yeah. It's one of those things making up time. Like, because there's a whole little thing where Mikan has a bunch of, like, a big pile of flyers, and Yuko's showing her how she can, like, the thing her mum does where you turn them into a little box that you can put kitchen, like, food scraps in, so you can just throw it out straight away.
It's fucking cute.
Yeah, and then, like, and Mikan just gets really happy because she's like, now it means I can just eat a lot of fruit and put them in these things without having to get up and go to the bin. She's just super excited to eat fruit.
So, yeah, what a great idea.
This is a sneaky way of filling time because, like with the Mikan Kan thing, she just starts listing off fruits. Look, that it sort of takes a while. It's like, yeah, we're just filling time.
Well, look, but it makes sense. Hey, did you know that she likes tangerines? Did you know just citrus fruits? She's involved with them.
One other really cute bit in this is when Yuko's sort of thinking about how she'd like to, know more about Momo's past. For a second, she thinks, well, I have succubus dream powers. I could just go in and see her old memories. And then it's immediately like, no.
Yeah, he's got some impure plots.
Yeah, and that's while they're at the bins. And I'm glad they kept this gagging because it's like she's just like throwing all the trash in violence, going, ora, ora, ora. And Mikan's going, I've never seen anyone throw out trash so enthusiastically. And Yuko's line is, I'm throwing out the trash in my heart.
Pretty solid. And then punished Momo arrives is how I have it in my notes because you might wonder, hey, Mikan's under all this stress. Why is no one experiencing bad luck? Momo was.
Yeah, the whole time.
Oop.
Including Shamika forgot to cook my rice this morning.
Yeah.
Mikan's like, she makes you breakfast?
The idea is that Momo doesn't know how to use a rice steamer for some reason. Momo, you're a disaster.
Yeah. Oh, no, just real quick. Momo says she doesn't really like bugs either. And she just feels like she has some sort of... There's something in the back of her mind that she finds things with weird legs and arms creepy, and it just cuts to the fuck.
The best.
The little statue with the legs and arms.
Little crawl mode. And Shamika's like, you're still not quite over it or whatever. It's still in there.
Yeah. But yeah, now we get a bit of world building about magical barriers because Momo shows Yuko how to make a barrier that keeps bugs away.
I like that the description of the process just is suspiciously similar to drawing manga. It's like you have to ink it and then you have to do a pass with the eraser and blah, blah. Oh, let me explain what that term means. And I'm like, you fucking mangaka dork. I see you.
Sleepless Domain isn't going to be a proper anime unless at some point, they go and visit like an animation studio or something or someone talks about making comics.
Yeah, it's very crucial.
It happens at some point. This turns into a slight training montage because they get Yuko to put magic energy into it. And it turns out the barrier only lasts as long as the quality of your magical energy. So obviously it only lasts like half an hour. So they make Yuko make like 200 of these things. And claim that it's actually good training because each time she does it, she gets a little better.
I couldn't tell if that was an excuse or not, because she's like, why don't either of you make some? And they're like, no, we can't. It's training. And I'm like, is it? Do you just not want to?
I figure it must be because like they both wanted a barrier. And obviously their magic is a lot stronger than Yuko. So if they really wanted a working barrier, they could have just made one.
You think so, yeah.
But they seem to...
And the ending of the episode is clearly they just make it more about making manga again because it's like surpass the pressure of crunch time, Shamiko. Shaking my head. This is in no way crunch time. I know what you're talking about.
The next episode has a cute opening where we get the mum doing a happy dance again because it's a good day for cleaning the futons.
Airing the futons.
So airing the futons.
So you don't get moldy shit in there.
And they can do them all at once now because Yuko has this magical, wand that can turn into a really long bamboo pole.
Yeah, which is funny because, it's bringing back the gag of her saying that that's what Joshua used to use it for that. And it's like, don't think we were just kidding. We need it.
They're all just like really happily watching the futons flow in the breeze. And Yuko says, I'm so happy to be born a demon.
Beautiful. And then for something like over a public address system, you hear that announcement that's like, we have poles for sale. It's only 2 for $10, like it's always been. You can just buy them.
Again, this is another anime edition, because in the manga, you just get a little like sound effect of someone saying bamboo pole, but like said in the way that like the people who are selling them saying this. But in the anime, they just pause for this guy to go, the price hasn't changed in 30 years. I've been saying this for 30 years.
It's really not that expensive.
Yeah. Now, man, this is another one of those little moments where I was like, this gag was executed slightly better in the manga than I thought it was cute, because because Yuko goes to get Momo's futon. Momo's just kind of generally annoyed that Yuko's using this incredibly powerful wand to do very menial shit. I'll post this in the chat, and I'll obviously put in the video version as well. This is just a one-panel gag. Yuko just sniffing Momo's futon and saying, you have a pleasant scent on you, Momo. It's like a nice fruity, peachy smell.
Yeah.
The way it's executed in the manga is like, at first Momo's just speaking with, normal text. Saying, is that how you perceive the way my body vibrates? Because this is the thing, it's not actually a smell. The implication is that like what Yuko is smelling is sort of part of how she feels about Momo as well. It's not just the way Momo smells. Yeah,
because it's sort of magical energy.
Yeah.
Shit.
When she thinks of Momo, she thinks of a nice, peachy smell.
I wonder why.
So at first Momo's just like, is that how you think? And then she's suddenly just like the implication gets to her and she's like, never mind, no. And she gets all embarrassed, like saying, we're not talking about this. In the anime, again, just because generally things are just, they still look nice, but they are getting a bit cheap. Momo's already posed in a way that's like flinching, like from the start of the scene. So it's kind of like...
Well, technically that's true in the manga as well, because it's one panel.
Yeah, it is. But it's a thing if they use the text to indicate that she becomes flustered, not she's flustered from the start.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those little things where it's like, you just needed one extra pose there. It just, I don't know.
Could have been a little better.
Yeah.
It might have just been an interpretational problem, like they assumed that she was flustered the whole time.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. I don't know. It's just slightly bummed because I really like that panel.
It is very cute, especially that little Shamiko face with her face behind the towel, just like, I sniff. I sniff.
The other trouble with this doing it in the anime is that like it's just Yuko is just continually sniffing the futon over and over again for ages. So it's kind of like, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, like you have to make her stop because it's not a single panel.
I like any time that Momo is flustered, like particularly by the fact that Yuko is just very open about how much she loves her.
Even if she's not trying to be, it's just obvious.
Yeah. Anyway, so first chunk of this episode is about just trying to figure out what they can do with Yuko's staff.
Yeah. This is my shit.
She's saying she should use it for something more useful, and Yuko turns it into a little fan that says, Momo-chan, please come over to the dark side.
Yeah.
Momo points out to it, like, it's only supposed to be able to turn into things that are kind of shaped like a stick. And Yuko's like, well, that's kind of stick-like. And then they go away and get what the different definition of a stick is. And now Yuko can't do it anymore because she realized what a stick is.
Yeah.
And Momo's like, fuck, I should have just let you be dumb.
Ignorance is bliss, you fool. I remember even when she made the pan, I was like, is that really a stick?
Yeah, I knew that gag was coming up.
Yeah. And I wondered if it was based on, like one of the counting words in Japanese is bo, like there's a specific counter for stick-shaped objects. So I was wondering if like she could transform into anything that you would use that counter for.
Okay.
But I doubt you use that for crossbows. So obviously we're all in agreement that's bullshit.
There's a montage of them trying to like think of other things Yuko could make that was sort of stick-shaped, like Ryo's trying to get her to make like ancient legendary weapons.
Yeah.
There's a little bit where I don't know if your subs translated this, but she holds up a book explaining what this mythic Japanese spear is. The subs I had, they translated what was on the book.
Yeah.
It starts off normal. Like, there were these two gods, Izanagi and Izanami, who used this spear to somehow churn the chaotic world. After that, they kind of did a bunch of stuff and created Japan.
Yeah.
That's the textbook.
As you do.
Yeah.
And then Momo's wondering if she can make it into a 30-kilometer pole to break the stratosphere. And Yuko's now just like, I can't. I'm too nervous.
Yeah.
I liked the other idea that Momo had to turn them into 2 pairs of golden chopsticks and then sell one and then see what happens. It just seems like such a fun, like, that kind of fan wankery of like, how exactly would this power work kind of thing. What can we really do with it?
Yeah.
And Lilith is like, I approve of the golden chopstick idea.
So Lilith's saying, you should try coming into the dream space because you might have an easier time practicing in there. Now, what I like is that she lets Rio come along because, like, yeah, you're a blood relative. You can come into the dream space. And Momo's like, I want to come, and she's like, well, you're not a blood relative. I can't do that. And Momo's even offering her bribes of like the body vouchers. Lilith's like, look, I really want those, but I cannot do it.
Yeah, I love that Momo's so quick to bribe.
Yeah.
I like when Rio learns that she can come, she lays down all just like really smiley next to her sister in the futon, like, woo, going on a good dream adventure.
Yeah, she's really excited to see her big sis in action, and Yuko's continually like, I'm really not that good at stuff.
Yeah. And then once they enter the dream world, she gets to like really meet Lilith for the first time, and it's really cute.
It is. This is the thing. Like at the end of the episode, there's a little moment there where they're like Lilith's just patting her on the head and saying, this was the best part of today, just getting to meet you. You're very cute, and I'm always happy to meet my descendants. Mm-hmm. I was like, aw.
Boo boo.
But yeah, in the meantime, Lilith has made up an army of punching bags that are all shaped like her statue. And there's this line, this army is a manifestation of my loneliness. Please stop leaving me at home.
Oh, yeah.
And then it turns out there's like 30,000 of them, and Yuko's like, you were this lonely? Lilith's like, oh, if you lose, you have to take me to an amusement park. And Yuko's like, I would have done that anyway if you just asked.
I can take you to an amusement park. But I also like how when Ryo first sees Lilith, she's like, oh, it looks like a B color of Onichan. like
oh, that's right, yeah.
Like it's like a palette swap.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, she was the ancestor, so technically she'd be the A color and Shamiko would be the B color.
It's to establish that Yuko really likes video games. They have a little bit of her just rambling on about how this works.
Do you like video games?
Because that becomes important. Because the thing is that Yuko's like, she's trying to beat them up, but she's only hitting them one at a time. So Lilith tells Rio to go give him some advice, and Rio's saying, well, why don't you try and think of a weapon that could, defeat a whole bunch of them at once? And like she says, like, try to think of a sword that could cut a continent in half. And Yuko tries, but she gets this sort of weird, like stupid drawing of a sword, and it doesn't work because she's just saying, I don't.
Now, see, this one made me think of Fate because I was like, if you'd played a certain games, you would know about Excalibur, and you could make it, and then you could make a big yellow thing go. Bram.
Well, see, this is the thing because Yuko's saying, look, I'm just not imaginative enough to come up with these things, which has been a consistent problem for her. Like, you remember when she was in Momo's dream or trying to get into Momo's dream, there was the bit where she was trying to remember what a gun looks like.
Oh yeah,
she couldn't do it. So Rio's good idea is, okay, well, think of things you've used in video games and just use those.
And
like think of cool magic staffs.
Works perfectly.
And she does. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like fire staff, cast fire on a bunch, electric staff, cast zit on a bunch.
There's this bit where she has like a snack staff that makes like, treats. and that ends up being really effective. And there's another Lilith line. It turns out the cure to loneliness is just eating lots of sweets. I'm like, Lilith, no.
Look, don't at me, Lilith. Don't fucking at me. I don't appreciate these subtweets.
But anyway, yeah, it works. So that's the thing now is like they've at least learned that the way for Yuko to make this work is to reference things that she knows. That's that thing of like she's very powerful when she doesn't need to use her imagination all that much.
Yeah, and when she's confident.
Yeah.
Oh, I also like when they're about to start fighting all of them, and Lilith is like, I'll even put a counter in the lower right, and Shamiko's like, what lower right? And then a counter appears in the lower right.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Yeah. So yeah, as they're leaving, there's that nice little moment where Lilith's just patting Rio on the head, and Rio asks if she can take a photo with Lilith. And Lilith's like, well, I know you've got your camera here, but it's the dream space camera. It's not going to go across. But then she's like, actually, hang on, I've got an idea. So they go back into the real world. Lilith has apparently been practicing this way of transferring a vision of herself from inside that space to a digital camera. And she gives it a go. And I like this gag a lot.
It's a very funny image because so they tried to like take a picture with Lilith, and Lilith is just filling herself in magically. It's a fucking spooky ghost image that looks very good. Yeah. It's like the Scream. It's amazing.
Yeah. Like this is a haunted photo. It looks like an awful creepypasta thing.
Yeah, it's super cute.
And you can tell she was trying to be cute, like because like she's posing with doing a little peace sign and stuff and that. But it's all distorted. It doesn't work.
Yeah, she's got like the scratchy black eyes, as you do. You need to get Reagan in here from Mob Psycho.
Anyway, yeah. So that's it. That's it for these two eps. A bunch of world building and cute stuff. Like I say, kind of like what 7 and 8 were as well.
Yeah.
In 9, I'm pretty sure we start what is the arc of this volume.
Yeah, I resisted looking at it because I was worried I would get confused about what happened in that one compared to these.
Yeah.
So I haven't watched it yet. I have it downloaded. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. I think I already mentioned to you who this arc ends up being about.
Mikan.
Yeah.
Mikan.
There's another really good bit, and I think it's in the next episode or the episode after. Another good Momo moment.
It's time for your Momo moment.
I know it's something you're going to enjoy because it involves cats.
Don't fucking spoil. God, now I'm going to expect the cats. And when I see the cats, I'm going to be like, whatever. I knew these cats were coming.
You have never seen a cat and gone whatever in your life.
I was going to say, like, cut to me like, meow, 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 meow. Oh my God, look at them. Meow, 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 meow. You
have seen Fran just honk at you for years now.
I love her, Fiend. Fiend, I love her. Fiend, did you know I love her? When she go, I love her. Just earlier today, she was going, it was amazing.
I assume everyone who listens to this knows about Kegel Cats, which is Cube's Twitter, where she just tweets pictures of her cats and the foster cat she looks after. But if you don't, like, it's your most popular Twitter account, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's the most relevant content I produce, technically. I should really figure out how to monetize it, give the rest of this shit up. Yeah, look at my friend. Look at my friend.
Look at your weird owl daughter.
The other day she was in the closet, just like rolling over, being so lovely. She's my friend.
All right, so that's DG&D.
That's DG&D and cats.
Hey, real quick, if you want to talk about other things we're looking at lately that we quite liked, I found this website called Bookwalker, which does releases of the translated manga from Japan. Like it's like simulcast, like so it's same day.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Whoa, I forgot that was same day.
Yeah,
and like this is like actual, like this isn't piracy.
No, this isn't piracy. And the other thing I found as well, it's like almost half the cost of most of the other like because you can buy manga through like Kobo and Amazon, all that sort of stuff as digitals. The stuff from Bookwalker costs about half as much.
Hell yeah!
Like it's just cheap. So the author of Bloom Into You, Nakatani Neo, has started doing a new manga called God Bless the Mistaken, and it's a funny little high concept thing. It's this kid living in a share house owned by this researcher lady, and the world they live in, basically every few days are glitches. Every few days something strange happens in the world and everyone just sort of has to cope with it. Like, so in the first issue, it's just like they wake up and there are just gigantic plants everywhere. And everyone's just sort of like, okay, well, we're just going to have to deal with this for a few days.
I like it as a concept.
Yeah. So this kid who's living he's like 15, 16. Who's living in this share house with these other sort of older people, slightly older people. And this researcher, he sort of helps the researcher out, like it assists her with the stuff she's looking into. The second episode is like the plans go away and everyone's like, they haven't quite worked out what the next glitch is. But then they realize what it is that if you imagine an invisible staircase, you can just walk up for as long as you want. And just hang out in the sky.
God, that's such a dream thing. Yeah. Like, I've done that in dreams.
There's not much of it out so far. I think they're only up to about chapter 8 or so. It's fucking cute so far and intriguing. And obviously her art style is fucking gorgeous.
So smooth.
Yeah, that's very much worth a read if you're looking for something new to sort of read. I mean, obviously, you're reading it like one chapter a month or so. So there's that sort of aspect to it. But yeah, he's good.
And meanwhile, I was finally watching some of the more of the episodes of things that I downloaded from the Taster to continue with. I watched some more Spy Family, obviously still amazing and adorable and wholesome. They love each other. It's beautiful. And I was watching some more Summertime Record, which continues to be like kind of amusing. But fucking, he solves part of the mystery by asking, gotta keep doing that. It's Summertime Render. I keep calling it Summertime Record because that's a fucking Kage Pro song. So really, it just means that I'm an even more powerful weeb than you can possibly imagine. But in the Summertime Render, he fucking solves part of the case by being like, Mio, what color panties were you wearing yesterday?
Oh, God.
And that's how he's able to, because he caught a glimpse of the doppelgirl's panties, and that's how he knows when the doppel was made. And I was just like, throw things at screen.
Fucking hell.
The striped panties were actually very important to the plot.
Season 2 of Spy Family's already been announced, I think.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's doing well.
They're probably like, thank God, like something is succeeding.
I will say, like, as much as you watched a lot of trash this anime season, I've continued to watch Birdie Wing, and it continues to be the most fucking extra thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to slosh about that after I get through Ray Earth, and I think I'll do that next, and then I'll do Birdie Wing.
Yeah, and I need to continue with my rewatch of Flip Flappers. I gotta get back on it.
Then we got to get back to Sailor Moon, and then.
Dreams of Mice and Men of Nezumi and Otoko.
I will say, if you're looking for something to watch, Birdie Wing is just absurd. It's horny a lot, but it's also just, it's so fucking ridiculous that like it's that anime level of stupid horny. So where you're like, okay, well, yeah, we know.
And everything's ridiculous. So it's like, all right, you take me on this crazy ride. Oh, that's right. We should bring up. So the first 3 episodes of Ruby Ice Queendom came out. We haven't watched them yet. I will probably end up watching the show, especially like once it's all out. I'm sure I won't be able to resist, but I have to kind of work up to it emotionally. I don't know if Fiend's gonna.
I don't think I'm gonna watch it. It just, the whole thing bums me out too much. I've seen some screenshots and some little bits of Sakuga, and they're like, yeah, sure, it looks nice.
It's still that guy. It's that fucking guy.
Yeah.
When he recreated the part of the Monty fight where she fights the big crow thing, it does look a bit better. Like he zooms out a couple times. I'm like, very proud of you, dude. Very proud of you. But it's still not super great, and the rest of the shots look really wonky. But what's crazy, Fiend, what's so crazy is, so like someone posted a screenshot of Penny. They are very clearly trying to draw all the faces to look like Fuke's style.
Yeah.
Which is so like. So it's like the same season, or same period of time, we got really shitty 3D being anime being made of Black Rock Shooter, and we've got Ruby, the thing that's based off Black Rock Shooter, being animated in a way to try to make it look like Fuge style, and this snake has eaten its own tail to such a degree I can't handle it.
I just feel like it's a shame Black Rock Shooter ended up being shitty and looking really shitty, whereas like the nice anime style got wasted on fucking Ruby.
Well, look, there's a lot of faces that look very janky, so I'm not gonna say like it's gonna be an amazing looking show.
Oh, yeah, no, fair.
But yeah, like the nice panels look alright. Oh, that's right. Yeah, someone shared with me. They fucking put Black Rock Shooter from the original Black Rock Shooter music video in the show.
Yeah, that's right.
Like on the screens behind Ruby.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like that must be a part of this marketing, like even if it's low key, is like, you like Fuke, you like Black Rock Shooter and all that kind of shit. Well, this thing is kind of tangentially related to it. It's by stuff of it too.
I mean, there might have just been like, hey, it's Yuko's on this. Like, it might have just been a gag.
Well, they're also both like a Good Smile.
That's true.
Like, I feel like if Good Smile is in charge of making an anime, it's to sell merch of it.
Of course. Yeah.
They are up on their branding game.
By the way, they've been doing that line of figurines, the pop-up parade. They're quite nicely made figs that are relatively cheap for figs. Like, they only cost like $50 each at most in the US. They've been releasing ones of Metako girls. Unfortunately, the Homura one is like fucking uwu Homura. But there's a Mami one that's quite nice, and they just released a Kyoko one that's also quite nice.
Yeah, they're branded as being from Rebellion, but obviously, it's the girls in their designs. But yeah, the Mami one's actually really good.
Yeah, for a change.
It's always a crapshoot.
People have mentioned as well that there's a very expensive DG&D fig you can get at the minute. Quite a tall one. It's like 1/6.
Oh, yeah.
Of Yuko and Momo just hanging out, doing like a little posy thing. I want to like it. Like, it has Lila's statue in a raincoat and a cute Metako, which I really like. But Momo's thing is just kind of like, there's too much of her butt. I don't like it.
We don't do much, but oops.
Like, those figs can be very horny at times in general as a medium, and this just feels like, yeah, it's one of those times.
Yeah. What you gonna do?
There's so many of those figs that I'm just like, look, I'm a weeb. I get it. Like, I've got like a Monica statuette around in the house somewhere, but like, there's some of them where you're just like, if you put this in your house, you can just never invite anyone around unless you have absolutely no shame.
That's my catchphrase, Fiend. You stole this sentiment from me.
Well, I said, like, I remember this from back when I was in high school. There was a dude, an older dude friend of a friend of mine from like a Surf Coast town, who lived in the back of a chip shop. And in his house, on his kitchen table, he had this statuette of Lara Croft. That way she's just like, she's shooting guns, pew, pew, pew. But for some reason, her top has exploded and her tits are just out. Posed so it's like just exploded.
Yeah, it's just like, you're just assuming no one will ever see this.
No, but we would come around all the time. He had a girlfriend. Like, it's just fucking, and I was always just like, what the fuck?
I want to believe people who put those up are under the impression no one will ever see.
Anyway, so that's a bunch of stuff.
That's our nonsense pile up for the week.
Yeah, I guess we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. So hey, this one's delayed, but then you get them all compact. It's super close together. You'll be so excited.
Assuming that neither of us get sick again or anything else happens, I suppose.
I'm never getting sick ever again. I got sick last week. Never gonna get sick ever again. Woo!
Yeah, see you guys.
Have a nice anime.
Bye.